This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Okay, this is almost, but not quite, the final video of the year. The actual final video for 2020 is one of my usual Monday solo analysis videos that will be going up, surprise, surprise, on Monday. And that's a solo that one of my Patreon supporters has requested, so check that out when that arrives. So what I'm doing is basically winding down towards Christmas. We've got friends staying over the festive period, and they're probably going to be arriving on Christmas Eve, and I just want to grab a couple of days or so of quality time with the missus before, as I say, the seasonal madness descends. It's just me and the wife. We see precious little of each other because of the hours we both work, so it'd be nice just to spend a couple of days together before we kind of have a house full, basically. Anyway, what we're talking about today is kind of almost like your end of term assignment, if you like. It's based on the caged system, and I've done videos on that before, but so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here about what's actually going on with that, but here's a brief recap. Take a look at these 5 pentatonic patterns here, for example, and the whole caged system is based on the idea that each one of these has a chord shape lurking within it. You can see there's a C shape, an A shape, a G, an E, and a D chord shapes kind of hiding within those pentatonic patterns. And in the same way as you can move chord shapes up and down the neck to get different chords, you basically move the pentatonic patterns up and down the neck to get different pentatonic scales. And you do this by visualizing the chord shape. And, if you're familiar with kind of moving chords up and down the neck, it usually makes things easier to find the correct pentatonic scale. For example, if you were to move the C shape to the 2nd fret, you'd get a D chord, or D major pentatonic. Move the A shape to the 3rd fret and you'd get a C chord, or a C major pentatonic. Move the the E shape to the 3rd fret and you'd get a G chord, or G major pentatonic, and of course the relative minors. So here's a list of what each of those shapes gives you in terms of the pentatonic scales, both major and relative minor at any given fret. And there is of course a printer friendly version of this up on my Patreon page for my Patreon supporters to download. More on that in a moment. So coming up next, you're going to see me play a solo which is based on the caged system. The idea here is, and this is an exercise that I give to a lot of my students, is that you pick an area of the neck and go through all 12 keys round the cycle of fourths, like you can see here. C major, A minor, to F major, D minor, to B flat major, G minor, and so on until you've arrived back at C major, A minor again. Basically, we're going to spend 4 bars on each scale, and the idea is you pick a part of the neck, one particular fret, and you only allow yourself to move 1 fret either side of that. Okay, so if you, for instance, like in this solo that's coming up next, pick the 5th fret, then you can play a shape at the 5th fret, or the 6th fret, or the 5th fret, or the 4th fret, and it kind of makes for a nice condensed way of being able to play across all 12 keys anywhere you are on the neck. And as I say, here's a solo where I'm doing this all at the 5th fret. Now, I don't think that guitar solo is ever going to be anybody's favourite guitar solo. I played it and it's not even my favourite guitar solo, but it does kind of get the point across that you can stay on one part of the neck, and whatever key you're in, whatever chord you have to play over, anything like that, you're never going to be more than one fret away from the relevant scale pattern that you need. And it does make for kind of a more of a fluent transition from one pentatonic scale to another if you're doing, you know, kind of playing over chord changes and so on, like I was doing there. There is, of course, a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats for that solo up on my Patreon page, along with the jam track that I was playing along with and the scale patterns that you saw me display on screen earlier, as I say, in printer-friendly format. So give that a go. It's just a nice little kind of musical puzzle to kind of contend with, you know, and it will teach you a pretty good appreciation of where stuff is on the neck. And once you can do it maybe at the 5th fret, try doing it at the 10th fret or the 7th or the 12th, or, you know, just pick a different fret and figure out what scale patterns you're going to need for that particular area. As I say, not moving more than one fret either side of your chosen starting fret. So there you go, folks. That's the video for today. Hope you found it useful, enlightening, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. If you're interested in supporting the channel, all the links, including the Patreon thing, are down in the description box below. Thank you so much to everybody who's supporting me in any of those ways, and thank you in advance if you're thinking about doing it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, have a marvellous Christmas, and above all, stay sane. See you next time. Bye for now.